Hey guys, it's me, the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to Rajshri Food. Well, today's recipe is a very simple recipe. Also, it's monsoon and we all feel like eating chaats because, we've always been said and told not to eat chaats in monsoon because it's raining, we don't kind of guarantee the quality of water, the quality of produce. And this is the time when we all really and literally crave to eat chaats at home. Now, I have shown chaats several times in the past. I've shown you chutneys, I've shown you how to make a dahi vada and blah 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 and so many more recipes. Today's recipe is how to make a papdi. And the papdi of course can be used in multiple ways. You can make a Sev Papdi chaat, you can make a dahi papdi chaat, you can make so much more. In the comment section, also tell me how you put that to use. But before that, let's begin with making the papdi, as in the papdi for Sev Puri. Let's begin. Let's first begin with wheat flour. To this, to add in the crispness to the puri, I'm adding in semolina, also known as rava. For some added flavor, I'm adding ajwain, which is carom seeds. Now this is my favorite addition. You can, of course, if you cannot lay your hands on ajwain, you can also add in some cumin seeds, untoasted, remember that. To this, I'm adding in ghee. This is desi ghee. To bring out the flavor, I'm going to add in salt. And before we go further with adding the water, there's one trick that needs to be done. And it's just the way you make a cookie or a short crust. You need to rub in the entire amount of ghee in this mixture and ensure this starts looking like breadcrumbs. Need to rub it like that, literally. If you see, if I can just show you a little collection here, it needs to start looking like this and it just needs to come together, all of it, like this. So let's do this for the entire mixture. If you see, the mixture is now kind of clumping together and this is exactly what we're looking at. Let's create a little bit of a well here and add in chilled water. Now, I have actually started the recipe with ghee. You can also use oil, but I personally feel with ghee, it becomes nice and flavorful. Let's bring all of this together and let's convert this into not a very stiff dough, not a very soft dough. It has to be medium hard or medium soft, however you recognize it and call it. Do not get tempted to add in a lot of water at the same time because if you kind of not used to kneading dough, then it can all get messed up. With this, our dough is kneaded and ready. If I can show it to you, see, when you tear it like that, it has to kind of be a little dry. It should not be wet, it should not be sticky at all, a little dry. And why dry is because the semolina, the rava, is now going to begin absorbing all the water. And for it to completely come to its frying stage or cooking stage, we need to rest it. So now let's rest this dough under a damp cloth for somewhere around 15 minutes and then we move forward. The dough has rested well. Let's knead this one more time. And now there are two ways you can treat this dough. The first one is to pinch a lemon-sized ball, roll it, press it, and without the addition of oil or refined flour or wheat flour, we need to roll this into an absolute chapati like disc. Could be say 1 to 1.5 mm in thickness. At this point in time or in this method, you only have to concentrate on the thickness, which here if you see is 1 to 1.5 millimeter. The next step is to dock this. Now this method is called docking. You dock this with the use of a fork, or you also get like an equipment called a docker, but I'm sure you may not have it in your home, so this is an home trick. Docking is an extremely important step because a papdi is a flat disc. It need not get puffed because the whole idea here is to either assemble it or to crush it and not to fill it like how we would otherwise do for a pani puri puri. Right? I've pressed it using a cutter. If you do not have a cutter, you can also use like a bottle cap, which is sharp. And this way, you just press it and you keep it aside. This is step number 1, or this is idea number 1. Let's move on to the second idea, and that is making an artisanal puri. Now, artisanal puri is basically handmade. You take a small lump of dough, literally like a marble size, and you shape it like this. Very simple. Now, if you do not have a cutter in your house, then this is a method that you can apply. And this way, the puri becomes absolutely handmade, artisanal. Now, depending on your comfort, depending on whether you have a cutter or you do not have a cutter, you can choose either of the methods. And this is how it looks. Now, if you see, this is a handmade puri and this is a puri made using a cutter. All you need to follow is the size, and the shape of course remains round in this case. The oil has just kind of begun to warm up. Let's start adding in the puris. You can actually overcrowd the kadhai also, because that way the puris will get crisper and also it will drop the temperature of the oil, and that's exactly what we're looking at this stage. You need to fry this for literally 3 minutes on a side, then flip it over, and then 1 minute is perfect. Do not increase the flame, keep it low medium. Right towards the end, just in case you want to bring a little color onto the puris, you can increase the flame and cook it for just 30 seconds and you can pull them out. If you see, these are frying wonderfully, and because we've docked it properly, they've not even puffed. And that's what we are looking at in this puri, because these are the flat puris, these are the papdis, these are used for Sev Puri, Papri, chaat and things like that. Now again, let's flip this over. A total of 4.5, 5 minutes is just perfect for these to fry. Do not rush this up, because you need these to fry on low flame, because like I said, it's a short crust that we began with. Remember the ghee and the atta? It's a very classic way of making a cookie dough, and this is in a way a fried cookie. It's a fried biscuit, although savory, so remember that. The puris are fried and ready. If you notice, the color is not as much as a pakoda or a bhajia or a fritter. They're a little lighter than that, and that's what we're looking at. The color of course is going to intensify further because of the reticent heat or the residual heat. Similarly, let's start frying the rest of the papdis. With this, your homemade papdi is done and ready. And like I said, you can make various chaat combinations with something like this. Try it, attempt it, and let me know in the comment section below. On that note, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Rajshri.